Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I don't take life for granted. I don't take it lightly. I am happy and grateful for you. Thank you for keeping me accountable, for holding me accountable. Thank you for meeting me, taking 30 minutes out of 3 days of the week just to be here to make sure I stay on track. I hope you know that I do the same thing for you. I am happy and grateful that we are healthy, that we are wealthy, that we are prosperous, that everything our hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest and grow. She is a product of something that has been touched by me and my family, and she must, shall, and will manifest and grow all the things that she's been put in this journey to do. By faith, I believe that. It's Warriors Wednesday, y'all. I told you, I see this my little co-host. This our warrior. She our mascot. I need to get you put on something. You are mascot. All right. She not happy. I got her doing the gangster lean this morning. But hey, long as she quiet. But I'm happy and I'm grateful. Real talk. I'm happy and I'm grateful because I think that, as I've stated before, if we could really appreciate this journey, if we could appreciate our days, if we could understand that every day that we have, it's an honor, it's a gift, it's a present gift given to us, then I truly believe that our perspective would change with one another and that we would be able to embrace and love one another. All right, it wouldn't be so much malice and so much envy and strife, but we would really be able to honor each other and just learn how to be unapologetically who we are. But so I've been going over these laws, these that Mike Murdoch does, and we talked about it on Monday. But I want to talk about the law of difference. And the reason being is because you got to remember everything that we're doing is to shift our perspective. Okay. It's to shift our perspective. So even when we did on Manifest Monday and we talked about perspective and how you see things, everything is based upon how you see it. All right. How you decide to respond to something is how you visualize it. But here's the deal. And like I keep saying, it's just been pressed on me like we've got to learn how to be who we are unapologetically through submission and humility, not arrogance and pride. So I'm not saying to go around and be like, yeah, I am who I am and blah, blah, blah. No, it's none of that. But you say in confidence and assurance, I am Nicole D. Jones. You are who you are. But in knowing who you are, you don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to be proud because you'll become confident in who you are. You'll become confident in whose you are, and you'll be able to just ride it out. You won't try to go in someone else's lane. All right. You'll celebrate their lane. You'll understand that without their lane, there's no guidance. Without their lane, there's no traffic. Without their lane, you'd be solo dolo. You'd be lonely. See, you'd stop looking at things like it's like we in competition. We in competition. We are not in competition because what I have is what I have, and what you have is what you have. And no one can take that away, and no one can do it. Only you can be the best you. All right. So the law of difference. All right. I want you to understand that we were all created as many human beings as there is walking the earth. There are no two the same. See, I'm trying to shift your perspective. I'm trying to get you to understand that you are necessary. You are relevant. You are needed. I need you because there's something that you have, I don't have. But when we come together, we become stronger and we can walk this journey out. All right. So you got to recognize the law of difference, and you got to recognize it in the right way. So your difference decides your importance. Now, we already know we're not general people. We've talked about this. We already know that we're of value. You are valuable. Without you, there's a piece always missing. Okay. But you got to be that piece that is a part of the solution, not the problem. So it goes to perspective. How do you see yourself? You got to know the importance of you. And here's the deal. Why am I beating this up today? Because I feel like a lot of times it's the sun shining, y'all. See the sun shining now. My transitionals, they coming on, and I feel like I can't see. But the difference, okay, what you have and what you possess, I'm beating this in because if truth be told, you know, all of us got a little bit of hateration in our Kool-Aid, all right? You see someone, you see something, then you can say, oh, Nicole, I don't hate. Yes, you do. If you like, that comes from a root of hateration, all right? You can look at someone and hear me, because just because you have hateration doesn't mean you're a hater, all right? It's just a feeling. It's a feeling. We all go through feelings and emotions, all right? We all do things that doesn't define who we are. We're human. We make mistakes, okay? So you got to understand the difference, all right? I am not a liar, but I would be lying if I told you I never told a lie, okay? There are some people who are like compulsive liars. Like everything they say and do is just a lie. You got to be like, Lord, can I believe that? Or can I not? Listen, but just because you know, so many, I'm not going to say a lie is okay, because a lie is never okay. But you know, sometimes you be under pressure. Think of a kid. They don't want to get in trouble. And they be like, I'm like, Jaden, did you do that? No. Did you eat the cookie? No, chocolate all on his mouth. All right. That doesn't make him a liar. He just didn't want to get in trouble. Okay. So I hope y'all get that. But now you got to understand, when you get to a point where you understand, like, you know, my sister has always been better with her life. Look, listen, I ain't even gonna pinpoint it to one thing or another. All right. Well, she's always just been more responsible than me. All right. So I don't hate her for that. I celebrate her. Anyone who knows me with my sister, we're totally different. You want to co-host too? You trying to get in? Okay. Well, you gotta get in where you fit in. Listen, we doing morning. I got another co-host, Jaden Jones, in the house. Give it up for Jaden Jones. But so we gotta get to a point where we understand that there are differences. Okay, so you don't hate, you appreciate. All right. So even with my sister, like, you know, I got pregnant at 19. I had Khadijah when I was 20. You know, my sister, she waited. She got the boo. You know, they start building life. They got married. They traveled. You know, they did all these things. They bought property, whatever. And then they planned their kids. Okay, like they planned their kids. Like they, you know, so that was her way. And I applaud her. I commend her. I think it's a beautiful thing. All right. See, when we can start looking at difference the right way and in the right perspective, we don't beat ourselves up. Because I could look at her and be like, man, you know, at 20, you know, she had this and she did that. And all I had was a baby. No, my baby was a blessing to me. My baby was relevant and needed in my journey. So I don't look at her journey and hate. Okay. I appreciate. I had something to look forward to. I had something to look up to. All right. So yes, I may have done it as a single mom. You gotta come over. I may have done it as a single mom, but it was still a goal. If I would have looked at her life and what she did, not as a goal, then it could have been something that distracted me. It could have been something that just that tore me down, made me feel less than. All right, all of that. But I didn't. And even when me and her weren't in the best in our relationship, I never hated on my sister. I always applauded her. She was phenomenal with her money. And I was just, yeah, that part. But hey, it was all good, because even as I've gotten better with that part in my life, if it wasn't for the example she gave me, if I would have hated on her through that time when I was ready, there are parts of my process I may have aborted. Okay. So you gotta appreciate the law of difference. You have to appreciate that you're different. Okay. You have to embrace that you're different. All right. And your differences, want to understand them. Okay. You gotta want to date you. Some of us spend so much time trying to find the right one. You are the right one. Fall in love with you. Date you. Know you. Okay? So that when that other person comes, you solid, you straight. You add to the foundation. You're not looking for a foundation to build you. All right? Perspective. Know that you're different. It just is what it is. It's a law. God honors it. God created it. Jehovah God did it. It just is what it is. So there's nothing wrong in it. I feel like I'm talking so fast. Anyway, but you got to understand you for you. That's the whole like of this all. You can only be the best you when you understand you and you understand who you are and whose you are. I also want you to know, because we change in perspective, as you are accepting the law of difference, how you just gonna yawn in the middle of me talking? Am I boring you?
No.
Okay.
I'm tired.
That part. Well, then why'd you come co-host? Listen. Okay. All right. Well, sit here and okay, enjoy. Rest your lips. All right. Okay. So listen. Sidebar. I'm on Gigi duty, mommy duty. Ooh, but Kadeja come back today. Praise be to the Lord. But here's the deal. Because we're shifting perspective, okay? You got to know that as you are learning who you are and you're learning whose you are, you're learning to be the best you unapologetically, because you're learning to submit to Jehovah God. You're learning to walk out in humility. You got to understand that problems are important. Gotta pull my shirt up on now. God bless you. God bless you. You good? I gotta make sure she's warming up. So problems are important. Okay. We talked about the law of seeds. All right. Problems are seeds for reward. What do you mean, Nicole? Because if you have a problem, you got to solve it.
How?
Well, how do you look at a problem? All right. If you're looking at a problem like it takes you out, you'll never focus on the resolution, the resolve of it. All right. So problems are important. Problems is what produces that perseverance in you. Problems is what produces patience in you. Problems is what perfects you. All right. So as we're shifting our perspective, you got to know that problems are important. Okay. Problems are important. Now, I tell you all the time, this is a fixed fight. Our journey is a fixed fight. We've already won. It's a song that says it. It's a fixed fight and we already won. All right. This journey has a final destiny. Okay. None of us can get away from that. None of us. You can't get away from that, your journey. All right. So you got to understand, if your journey is predestined and is preordained, you think of a road. Okay. In every road, I don't care if they first lay it, it is, how like them black roads when they laid the tar and it's nice and smooth. It's a paved ground, right? It's a solid foundation. That's who we are. We're the paved ground with a solid foundation. But even in the paving, there's a curing process. It has to cure, it has to settle, it has to do all these things, right? And in the settling, sometimes there's little potholes. Over time, sometimes the road begins to get chipped away. All of that. Look at those things as problems in your journey, in your road, in your road to success. All right. There are problems, but how do you deal with the problem? You deal with the problem based on how you look at it, your perspective of it. So as we're shifting our perspective, I need you to understand that problems are important. They're problems that are important. If you never go through nothing, you never produce your greatness. Okay? So here's the deal. We know that this path is predestined. We know that there are already pre-populated holes, problems, circumstances, all of that. Life brings it. This journey brings life. It brings death. It brings obstacles. It brings joy. It brings rewards. But the rewards come from the problem. Think about it. Think about problems that you've solved. It's made you better. It's taking you to another place. So as we're shifting our perspective of things, you got to respect the law of difference, respect that you're different, and understand it to a point where you don't allow your differences to put you as a bottom feeder. We're valued. We're not common folk. All right. We're of substance. We're of value. We're necessary. We're needed. So view your difference just as such and fall in love with you. Take the time to know who you are. Okay. Understand your differences so that your differences don't make you feel awkward and abnormal. You got to understand it. Listen, my family, they are in San Antonio, Texas. From a teenager, my teenager years up until 2006, I lived in Maryland. Okay. Yes. Maryland. I say Maryland. I can't make my mouth say it no other way. So I've had people laugh at me and like, Maryland. Like, I don't even know how it's supposed to sound. I know how I say it. All right. So here's the deal. I got this Texas twang accent with this East Coast vibe. And in the little city that I lived in, Frederick, Maryland, listen, that thing's so country. It just is what it is. So I got like East Coast country accent with a down south accent that's country, and it sound all crazy, right? But it is what it is. See, people talked about it, and I'd be like, there's some words I just wouldn't say. Maryland was one of them because people don't say it like that. All right. But I have learned to accept that I'm different. I sound different. I look different. I speak different, but it's all good. I'm not going to allow that to discredit me. I'm going to allow that to add value to me. I'm going to allow that to understand that I'm valuable, and maybe everyone don't deserve to hear this whatever accent. It's a Nicole D. Jones accent. All right. It's mine. So here's the thing. You gotta accept the law of difference. You gotta shift your perspective. Don't ever look at yourself like you're less than, okay? Because you're never that, all right? Without you, there's no call. Without you, there's no motivation, no morning mindset call, okay? You're needed. And all of us, there's not one person who can do everything that everyone else does. It's not in our DNA. We're not created that way, okay? And then, like I said, I want you to shift your perspective on problems. Understand they're important. Understand that they're necessary. And understand that with every problem, there's a solution. There's a resolve. It may not be what you want. Look at her. I'm so focused on this. I let the baby you just done slipped in. You like, girl, okay, there you go. But for every problem, there's a solution. And with every problem that you have, everyone that you have, there's already a predestined way out. There's already a way of escape. Now, what do we have to know? That your way may not be the right way. So what you think the outcome or the resolve of the problem is, it may not turn out the way you think it's supposed to, but you need to know that it's going to turn out exactly how it's supposed to. Okay? Perspective. All right? So those two things, because we're warriors that are victorious. Okay? And in order for us to stay in victory, we got to understand that we're different. Because once you can understand it, you can embrace it and you can accept it. Okay. You have to be able to do that. I'm 48 years old with a birthmark. Yes, right here. Okay, right here. Some of y'all may not even notice it till I just pointed it out. Do you know some people will talk to me for years and never see it. And then one day they're like, man, did you hit yourself? Did someone hit you? You know, da-da-da-da. And then there's some people, that's the first thing they see. You know, imagine like a kid just coming up to you and, you know, all right, stop. It's like, imagine what that would do for my esteem, because my esteem was already broken. But at 48, listen, I've embraced it. I've accepted it. My mother has tried to surgically, you know, offered to surgically remove it for me, you know, this and that, because she saw what I went through as a kid, being teased, whatever. Listen, I embrace it. My grandmother told me when I was smaller, she said, she said, you were so excited to come and be with us. This is what gave me peace with my birthmark. She said, you were so excited to come and be with us. She said, but God had to say, "Ooh, not yet." And at first I was like, Grandma, you saying God, like, he buck? Like, he can buck, knuck if you buck? What? She's like, no. She said, that was a God tap. It was a God tap. He tapped you and he said, I love you so much, I'm not ready to let you go. They love you so much, they want you, but we got that in-between stage. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, as a kid, all I knew was love. So as people began to point it out, it didn't even bother me anymore, because she was able to shift my perspective. She was able to shift it. So now, you know, it doesn't bother me. I love it. It makes me unique. It makes me who I am. I'm good with it. So if you want to tease me. I don't care. I'm not even going to retaliate, because it just is what it is. We all got a flaw. None of us are flawless, but I'm not trying to be flawless. I'm trying to embrace the things that are not perfect and walk them out, because at the end of my journey, perfection waits for me. Okay? I'm not getting caught up on that. So again, it's Warriors Wednesdays. We're warriors that are victorious. And this is why I'm pointing this out. Okay. You gotta shift your perspective to stay free. You gotta shift your perspective to stay victorious. Okay. You gotta shift your perspective to stop hating. Like, let's stop hating on each other. Can we have love, not war? All right. You gotta be able to embrace it. Because then again, when you feel that little or that little thing that you see someone else have or someone else do, instead of you envying it, it'll allow you to be humble. Don't leave me. It'll allow you to be humble, where you can go and you can ask that person, like, hey, how did you get there? Is there anything that you could share with me? Because if we're all different, then there's one thing that each of us have that someone else doesn't have. And we can all grow from it. We can learn from it. You have something to say? We good? You telling me to check the time? She telling me to check the time. All right. So it's 10:27. So again, shift your perspective in all things, okay? Shift them. Know that your glass is always half full. Sit down, baby. And never half empty. You got to know this, all right? You got to know it for yourself. You got to understand it, okay? I'm on like baby patrol. Now I can sit here and be frustrated, irritated because I'm all out my element, or I can look at this as the glass half full and embrace my time. Embrace this time with Sarai. Embrace this time with Jaden. Embrace this time on my she deck, where I got luxury and beach on my back off my bedroom. See, it's all perspective. And that's where I want us to be. We have to always look at our life as this glass half full, never half empty, because that is what's going to help us resolve the problems that we understand that are needed, that are necessary in our journey. It's going to help us with the upbeat resolve, with the positive resolve. with the resolve that produces the reward. Okay? Your problems are in your life to give you a seed of reward. Perspective, y'all. Okay? So, Warriors Wednesday, remember and know you are healthy, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest and grow. I touched her. All right? She's manifesting life. She's growing. She's doing what it is she's supposed to do. Okay? When people said 48 hours of a lifespan, the devil, that's a listen, because we got all power and authority. All right? Look, she want to get up. They say she gonna be delayed. What's delayed? Ain't nothing delayed, girl. Nothing delayed. All right. Why? Because I shift my perspective. My glass is always half full, never half empty. And when this journey comes to an end, be it if it's for her or me, I'm still full. I'm an overflow. Okay. Because my destiny is perfection. It's perfect. That's what we're striving to. Okay. Keep the right perspective in everything that you do, and know that everything that you set out, those goals that we set, they must manifest and grow. Just keep working on you. Be the best you, because only you can do it, and do it unapologetically through a posture of submission and humility. All right. 10:30. I am Nicole D. Jones. Continue to have a fantabulous day. Smooches. Oh, you said bye? You saying bye? Bye.